What disturbing rumor turned out to be true at your school? Senior year, this 24-year-old math teacher, Mr. Hendricks, started at our school. Within 2 months, everyone noticed he was spending a lot of time with the principal's daughter, Ashley, who was a sophomore. They'd be in his classroom after school, at basketball games together, sitting close at assemblies. The whispers started immediately, but Principal Stanton shut them down aggressively. He'd pull students into his office for spreading malicious lies about his family. He told parents at PTA meetings that Ashley was just getting intensive SAT tutoring since she wanted to go to Stanford. He made teachers sign statements saying they'd never witnessed inappropriate behavior. I was in Hendricks's AP calculus class and sat near the door. I started noticing he'd pack up and leave exactly at 2:47 every Tuesday and Thursday. Not 2:45, not 2:50. Always 2:47 on the dot. He'd literally stop mid-sentence, grab his bag, and walk out while we were still taking notes. After the third week of this, I raised my hand and asked why he always left at that specific time. The classroom went silent. He stared at me for what felt like forever, then forced this weird smile and said he had a standing dentist appointment for a root canal that required multiple sessions. My friend Mason whispered for 6 months straight. Hendricks heard him, and his face went red. He didn't answer. That's when I started paying closer attention. Ashley would leave her 6th period class early every Tuesday and Thursday, always around 2:40. I asked her friend Madison about it once, and she got defensive. Said Ashley had a medical condition that required regular appointments. When I asked what condition, Madison just walked away. 3 months later, my best friend's mom, Monica, worked at the front desk of Cedar Ridge Apartments, this complex about 20 minutes across town. She casually mentioned to my friend that she kept seeing one of our teachers there with a high school-aged girl. She said they'd show up around 3:15 twice a week, stay for exactly 90 minutes, then leave separately. When she described them, I knew immediately. Tall guy with red hair and glasses, blonde girl, always wearing a Dover High volleyball jacket. That was Ashley's jacket. She wore it everywhere. I didn't know what to do with this information. If I was wrong, I'd destroy 2 people's lives over nothing. But if I was right and said nothing, that felt worse. I told my parents everything. My dad's a lawyer and he took it seriously. He said even if they weren't doing anything physical, the secrecy in off-campus meetings alone were massive red flags. My parents contacted the school board directly, bypassing Principal Stanton entirely. The board launched a quiet investigation. They pulled apartment records, interviewed the complex manager, checked school security footage, looked at phone records. What they found was worse than anyone imagined. Principal Stanton knew about the relationship the entire time. He didn't just know, he actively facilitated it. He'd rented the apartment himself 6 months earlier, paying $1,100 a month in cash so his name wouldn't show up on credit card statements. He'd given Hendricks a key. The board found text messages between Stanton and Hendricks discussing how to keep things quiet until Ashley turned 18. Stanton wrote, 2 more years and this all becomes legal. Just be patient and smart about it. He actually believed this was a Romeo and Juliet situation, that his daughter had found her soulmate and he was being a supportive father by giving them a safe space while they waited. Stanton had kept detailed records of everything, receipts for the apartment, notes about their meeting schedule, even a written agreement he'd made Hendricks sign promising to marry Ashley the day she turned 18. He documented his own crimes, thinking it proved he was being responsible and protective. The board called the police. Both men were arrested on the same day in front of the entire school. I watched them get put in separate squad cars during lunch period. Ashley stood in the parking lot screaming and crying, saying we'd all ruined her life. Hendricks took a plea deal and got 8 years. Stanton went to trial and fought it, convinced a jury would see he was just a father protecting his daughter. They didn't. He got 6 years, lost his pension, and lost custody of Ashley. The part that still haunts me is that Ashley testified against both of them. She told the court Hendricks had manipulated her, that her father had pressured her to keep quiet, and that she'd felt trapped for over a year. The confident girl who'd screamed at us in the parking lot broke down on the witness stand and said she just wanted it all to stop. Sometimes when people ask me about high school, they want funny stories. I don't have many of those.